welcome to another video. We're actually talking about Denki 2.0. So a lot of people are playing it where they're not playing the one punch variant, they're playing the, hey look, I'm going to win eventually, but I want to show off the one punch variant because I do believe it has potential, depending on the situation. Obviously, if they face Shield You or if they have all in their, they're playing evading copy, this deck fails really hard, but you still deal a ton of damage, which is actually amazing for this deck. So, starting off with the character, Denki Kaminari 2.0 states, you cannot discard momentum to pay costs for keywords. So meaning like EX, powerful, etc. You cannot go and pay the cost by discarding momentum. And enhance once per turn, add the top card of your deck to your momentum, and enhance your turn, discard your entire momentum. This is a charge attack. Your rival commits one foundation for each momentum discarded to pay the cost of this ability. Okay? So, in theory, depending upon how you go about this, you can go and sit there and force your opponent to sit there and just not be able to block at all because you're forcing all their foundations to be committed, in theory. Now, you do have to build up to it, and there is ways for your opponent to stop you, but I believe this deck does have potential to go and get really good. So we're going to start off with 4 Electric Surge. It has Stun 1. This attack is added to your momentum, add it face up. And then Enhanced Momentum, flip, add the top card of your deck to your momentum. And it has Enhanced, discard 1 momentum. This attack gets plus 3 damage. Really simple. It's a 4 for 4. It's good. Next, we're playing something interesting. I actually just read this card a couple of days ago, and I thought it was actually absurd. So it's Tape Stream Jab. It has Enhance. Your rival adds the top card of the discard pile to their card pool. So basically, this is the cheap version of Tongue Lashing, I believe it is, or Tongue Whip or something like that. And the secondary part of it is if a card has left your rival's card pool, this combat phase changes the zone of this attack. Obviously, we're not going to be getting rid of cards out of their card pool, but we will use this to go and attempt to go for game by forcing an additional card into their card pool, and then if they attempt to block this, their difficulty is going to be at +2 when we go for our game changing play. Next, we are playing 4 copies of Indiscriminate Shock. It just has charge, range, enhance. Your rival discards 1 random card and draws 1 random card. You don't play it for that reason. You play it for the secondary reason, or secondary enhance, which states discard 1 momentum. If this attack deals damage, add the top 2 cards to your deck to your momentum. You actually don't care about the first part because you don't want your opponent dropping and drawing something that can go and stop you. You much rather just have this card flat out. And you don't even care about the point of that, like, if they block it, because you're already starting off at 5 or low. So a lot of people aren't playing a huge amount of low cards. So being able to go and sit there and put them into a situation where they're either going to take 2 damage or they're going to take 1. Most of the time they're going to take 2 because they much rather take a low damage attack than take a high damage attack. You can just stack up your momentum very quickly. On to the 5-drop attacks. We're playing 4 copies of Grassroots Tape Toss. It has Stun 1 and Throw. If this attack is not blocked, commit 1 rival foundation, and Deadlock Enhance, add 2 rival foundations to the bottom of their deck. So this comes up a couple times. If your opponent is deadlocked and they only have like X amount unsuspended, you can take 2 of the unsuspended ones and just put them right at the bottom of the deck, which does help out in the long run with a lot of different combos that we want to do with this deck. Moving forward, we are playing 4 copies of Indiscriminate Shock 1,300,000 volts. It has charge, range, stun 1. This attack gets +1 damage for each committed rival foundation. Then enhance, commit 1 foundation, your rival commits 1 foundation. So being able to sit there and just go and be like, okay, cool, stun 1, and you drop your momentum just to sit there and mess with them is really huge, especially because of the next attack. Because the next attack will get plus more damage for every momentum you have. So you go into that first, you force them to waste their really good block, and then you go into this as a follow-up and you just drop your momentum and just wipe them. Most of the time you're dealing like somewhere around like 16-17 points of damage with this card, but the next card is absolutely absurd in this deck. So the next card is Blitz Rush. And I know people are going to sit there and be like, man, this card's trash. No, but it has charge, stun 1. This attack gets +2 damage for each card in your momentum, and Deadlock Enhance, your rival commits 1 foundation momentum. So worst comes to worst, okay? If they are, or best situation, they're deadlocked, you get to just up, okay, deadlock enhanced, all your foundations are stunned. Now your opponent's going to have to sit there and try and figure out some way to go and block you. And you have Blitz, you have the first enhance, which just states it gets plus damage for each card in momentum. So a lot of time in the games that I was playing, it came down to where I had this at like 26 to 30 damage on turn 4, and it's just like, okay, cool, do you have a response? Do you have an evading copy to attempt to live through the turn? Because if not, this damage is going to be huge. Most of the time, they didn't have an evading copy that they could play because they weren't able to play it. They didn't have the resources to tap to go and be able to play it, and if they revealed a 5 or a 4, 3 or 4, they just didn't have anything more that they could do. So, moving forward onto the foundations, we are playing 4 copies of Rooftop Manage. Rooftop Manage allows us, when we go for Tape Stream Jab, I believe it is. Yes, tape Stream Jab, to just look at the top card of our opponent's deck and decide if we need to go and push for damage next. If we go and we do this in response, or even when we go for a Blitz Rush, we can flip this face down and look and see where our opponent's block is to attempt to predict how high of a speed we need to get ourselves up to make it so that way they cannot block it. Next, we're playing 4 copies of Requesting Assistance. Flip if you have 1 or more momentum, ready 1 foundation that has not been ready this combat phase. So obviously, this does a lot in this deck actually, because you normally do have 1 or more momentum due to Denki himself. So being able to just unsuspend any foundation you have that haven't been ready that turn is really good. Next, we're playing 4 copies of Intimidating Presence. It just states while this card's in your card pool, rival attacks get -1 speed. Really good against a lot of decks because you're able to just be like, okay, cool, you get -1 speed, and sometimes that's the difference between winning and losing that turn. And response, flip after your rival readies one or more foundations due to the effect. I flip one of them, or you flip one of them. It's actually really, really good, regardless of what you would like to think. Then we have Ice Gliding. Commit, this attack gets +1 or -2 speed. If it is blocked, the next attack gets +1 or -1 speed. Really simple. You do this to go and pump up Blitz Rush because you want the speed to go and be very, very high, so it's almost impossible for your opponent to block. And also it helps out with indiscriminate 1,300,000 volts because it'll go and sit there. If they block the Blitz Rush, they're almost guaranteed not going to have the block for that. And then we are playing 4 copies of Tape. Flip, change the zone of this attack zone to mid, and flip, this attack gets -2 speed. So, this mid attack. So with 2 of these out on board, you can reduce an opponent's speed by 2. You just turn it into a mid attack and flip it, or if people are playing mid attacks more, you can just sit there and flip this and make it get -2 speed. Next, we are playing 4 copies of Fruits of Our Labor. It just states, enhance rival's turn, remove, discard 2 cards from my card pool. So if we're having a problem being able to block, oh wait, hold on, no, it's only 2 copies of this card. Wow. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So you just remove, discard 2 cards from the card pool, and deadlock form, flip, your rival builds 1 card from their hand face down. Which doesn't seem like a whole lot, but you're forcing a card into their card pool that they really, really don't want. And if you start off with a Tape Jab, that gives them +2 difficulty on your first attack that turn. And then if they block that, that means they have +3 difficulty on your next attack. So most of the time you'll just go right into a Blitz Rush and then game them from there. And the next card we're playing as a 2 of is Self-Sacrifice. Destroy 1 foundation, this attack gets +1 or -1 damage. Obviously being able to pop our stuff so that way we stay out of deadlock is sort of needed because there is sometimes where you do get into deadlock and you just got to make sure that you play along with it and try and go and work around it. We are playing 4 copies of Short Circuit. States enhance, destroy, return this non-charge attack to its printed damage. So a lot of times there is a lot of decks currently in the format that are playing cards that just pump their damage but not their speed. So being able to do Short Circuit, destroying it, and then sit there and reduce their damage down to what it's printed at as like a 5, 6, or 7, etc. Is much better than sitting there having to deal with a like 20 or an 11 or so on and so forth for damage. Then we are playing 4 copies of Rock and Attitude. Response remove after you block with a charge or stun attack, which almost all of these are charge or stun attacks. Add it to your momentum, and you just remove this card. So you're building your momentum by 2 cards basically during your opponent's turn, because you have the once per turn in hand, and you also have this. So being able to get 2 cards in total during your opponent's turn rushes you into the late game, so that way you can push for more damage. Next, we are playing 4 copies of Charged Up. Remove after your charge or stun attack deals damage. Add 1 card from your discard pile to your momentum. This is basically the same reason why you play Rockin' Attitude, due to the fact of that you get to build more momentum in a singular turn than what you normally would. Then we're playing 4 copies of Travel by Tape. Flip after you block an attack. Discard your block from the card pool. And then enhance, remove, change the zone of your rival's attack. Really simple, but it does sit there and make it so that way it is possible for you to block a lot of attacks, so that way you take 0 damage. But yeah, and also you're able to remove a block from your card pool, which is really, really good. And lastly, we got 2 copies of Think Fast. Commit 1 foundation, change the zone of your attack. If the zone of your attack has been changed, it gets +1 speed and +1 damage. So obviously, being able to go and sit there and change zones of certain cards to reflect it positively in our deck, like Blitz Rush, Indiscriminate, etc., is obviously a huge thing, as well as being able to just, once I get a play set of it, it'll go in here. Being able to play Grasping Tape Throw, whatever the UR is, Ultra Rare, whatever that is, being able to play that in response to all this, obviously would go and be able to help, because you're able to just change its zones, which in turn makes it a throw that'll make it bigger and bigger and bigger, being able to make it deal more damage. So with that, you guys, I hope you all enjoyed this deck profile. We do have the challenge coming up on this Sunday. This video should be uploaded by Thursday or so, so that way then we have at least 1 deck ready for the event. Obviously, there is more decks I'm going to be playing, but I don't know if I'll be able to get around to making a video for each and every single last one of them beforehand. So with that in mind, I hope you guys have a great time. Don't forget, if you did forget already, go back to the box opening video from earlier this week, and make sure to like, comment, subscribe it, and leave a comment as to who your favorite set 2 character is, because there is a randomized raffling going on for whomever comments on said video. They will get 2 packs of first edition Crimson Rampage at no expense to them. I'll pay for shipping, etc. It's completely free. It's just a giveaway that we're doing here on this channel to go and try and get more viewers. So make sure that you share this video with your friends, and the box opening video, etc. You go and share it all with your friends to go and try and expand the community towards where we would like it to go. So with that, I hope you guys have a great time, and I thank you all for watching this video.